We got a problem.
If somebody told you before last season that the Utah Jazz will win 48 games and get past the first round without Gordon Hayward, you would have thought they were crazy. The Utah Jazz exceeded expectations and was one of the most surprising teams last year. You could make the argument that the Jazz were the third best team in the Western Conference when healthy. We knew that OKC had more talent than the Jazz, but nobody was surprised when the Utah Jazz out-executed them and beat them in 6 games. And they even made the Rockets a little nervous for a moment in the second round. The Jazz could have been even more of a problem for the Rockets if Ricky Rubio didn't get hurt before that series. The Utah Jazz quickly got over the loss of Gordon Hayward with the arrival of their new and exciting franchise player, Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz made one of the best trades in a while when they traded their first-round pick and Trey Lyles to move up and grab Mitchell. That move right there is a franchise changer. The Jazz needed that dynamic scorer who could create off the dribble and eliminate those scoring droughts. They got somebody who can simply get buckets when the team needs it. He was the true Rookie of the Year last season. I'm sure some people was already high on Mitchell as a prospect before the draft, but nobody could have imagined him playing like an all-star in his rookie season. He started off kind of slow at the beginning, but picked it up later on and got better every game. Rudy Gobert took on the leadership role for this team after Hayward and George Hill left in free agency. His impact on this team is immeasurable. He suffered knee injuries in the first half of the season that caused him to miss 26 games. The team was still trying to find itself without the Defensive Player of the Year. But when he came back, the Jazz were a problem. With Gobert on the floor, the Jazz were 38-18. He's not going to blow you away with his offensive game, but he's an elite rim protector and make players think twice when going in the paint. The Jazz had the second best defense in the league, and it goes to show you, with Gobert only playing 56 games, this team was still solid and disciplined defensively regardless. The Jazz traded for point guard Ricky Rubio, who brings great vision and passing, along with his underrated defense. It took a good minute for Rubio and Mitchell to gel together, but they got it rolling around January and February, and the offense took off. Rubio has been looked at as a bust for the most part to some people, but at this point, he's underrated in my book. He developed a nice chemistry with Gobert in the pick and roll, and his passing is infectious, and his style of play is perfect for the Utah Jazz. I expect this team to improve even more going into next season when everybody will be more comfortable in their roles with the team. Joe Ingles may not be the quickest, fastest, or athletic player, but he still can have an impact on this game. His basketball IQ and outside shooting makes him an effective player. He shot around 44% from the three-point line, which is ridiculous. Ingles just knows how to play the game. He knows when to move the ball, knows how and when to relocate to keep the offense running smoothly. And he's also a solid defender, as you saw him play amazingly against Paul George in the first round of the playoffs. After failing to contribute like he should have in Cleveland, the Jazz traded for Jay Crowder at the trade deadline. He played solid for the Jazz, but he still didn't shoot the ball from the three-point line like he did when he was in Boston. But Crowder is still a tough defender, and his shooting should get better in his first full season with the team. The Jazz are not looked at as a free agent destination, so they have to rely on the draft as much as anybody. There are 3 other young players on the team that could help them improve in the future to the point of them being an actual title contender. Those young players are Dante Exum, Grayson Allen, and Tony Bradley, all first-round picks. The Jazz made a smart move not giving up on Dante Exum, who has missed almost 2 full seasons in his first 4 years. He may not be the franchise point guard you was hoping for, but he still can be a hell of a player. He came back from a shoulder injury last season and played solid minutes during the second half of the season. His defense and passing ability are 2 things that define his game, but he has shown he can be a good scorer from time to time. He's long enough and athletic enough to elevate over you and throw it down in the lane. Hopefully his bad luck is over with, and now he can put together some productive seasons. Tony Bradley is the big man out of North Carolina who was drafted with the 28th pick. The near 7-footer with a 7'5" wingspan played with the Jazz G League affiliate team during his rookie season. In Summer League this year, he showed some improvement on offense and defense. Bradley averaged around 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game during Summer League. He still might not be getting playing time this season, but it's only a matter of time before he's Rudy Gobert's primary backup. Grayson Allen is a fiery competitor who brings a lot of things to the table. He can score, he can catch and shoot, and he can pass the ball. He fits right in with the Utah Jazz. I believe he can develop into at least an average defender, but the players around him can cover for his mistakes early on. With Mitchell, Rubio, Alex Burke, Exum, and Royce O'Neal at the guard spots, I don't see Grayson getting much playing time in his rookie year. Bradley and Allen both might have to wait a year before they get a chance to prove themselves in the league. The Utah Jazz wasn't supposed to be this good after losing their star player and starting point guard last summer, but they made some great moves in the draft and had one of the best coaches in the league in Quinn Snyder. He's a tough-minded defensive coach who knows how to develop young players. The Jazz are very much a team on the rise, and they have only scratched the surface.